Hey, oh, Frank. It's been too long, man. Let me get this on here. I'm
Jamendo.com.
tough winter, man. So, what has 90 pages, and in as many ways as like Madonna?
Jamendo.com.
Hey, good
Jamendo.com.
morning. Saturday morning. Let me see. This is the 26. Okay, so it's the 25th of February, and this is Mike, and the Rules Embassy is now open. Before we start, if you like the craziness that I post out here, if it helps you understand triathlon rules or you get a good laugh out of it, take the time to hit like or send a comment or hit the subscribe button. That way you'll know the next time I put something up. I'm going to try to get more stuff in. The embassy reopening was definitely delayed through January. Suzanne and I were both really, really ill. Don't know what the heck it was. It definitely wasn't COVID. And the office here upstairs here is very chilly when the heater's off, but running the heater and trying to do videos at the same time is just too doggone loud. So, and then I just got back from my first JTU event for the season, a duathlon in Kawasaki, and it was my first chance to catch up with my Japan Triathlon Union colleagues, who I'll be working with at the World Triathlon Championship Series event in Yokohama in a couple months. So that was a lot of fun. So I was also waiting, because I didn't have anything really exciting to talk about, and I was waiting for the new USAT Multisport Ruleset to be published. And I think I talked a little bit about that the last video. So USAT Commissioner of Officials finally sent out the near final draft to the officiating cadre about 2 weeks ago. And Triathlete magazine posted the information in their email blast. So I figured it was pretty much high time to get out and talk about it, right? Okay, so there goes the rhetorical question. So why is the new multi-sport rule set like Madonna? And everybody's kind of going, all right, what are you talking about, Mike? So if you're around my demographic, or you've been doing multi-sport for a long time, and I've been at it for almost 12 years now, off and on, you might feel at first that there's little that changed in the rule book when you first look at it. And you're going to want to read the new rule set cover to cover. It's a lot more readable than the 3 or 4 previous iterations that I've had to possess working knowledge of over the past 12 years. And I'm going to have to spend some time doing a closer look at it, especially before I return to the States, because I memorize by number and chapter and verse, and everything has changed all over the place. So it's still the same Madonna, but man, it looks different. So there's definitely going to be some impacts to the general athlete that you're going to notice in the coming seasons here. Okay, one, there are rules for levels of participation and competition that haven't been mentioned before. I like the fact that they talk about relays, which usually that was one of the big questions that I've always gotten as in transition is, well, how do we deal with the relay? And the USA Triathlon finally has put in for what they call corporate relay situations in triathlons, and they talk more to that. So I'll be able to point a race director and the individual athlete toward that particular section of the rule book. Okay, so race directors get a little more latitude for athlete accommodation. I like that some of the transition rules align more closely to World Triathlon. The race director has the option to allow people to bring certain stuff into transition areas, but the rule book says that only equipment that's related to the event can be in the transition. So that's gonna provide a lot more space in transition for athletes. I like that a great deal. So two-way dialogue between athletes and race directors is encouraged. I like that definitely, because that takes us in the red polo or the zebra polo out of the equation sometimes, and lets the race director make those final decisions and tell us what we need to do. Longer draft zones and more time to complete passes on the bike course. So you're going to find the draft zone distance for most of the shorter distance races is moving from 7 meters, 23 feet 7 inches, to 10 meters, which is about 39 feet 4 inches or 5 inches for those shorter distance races. And if you're doing a 70.3 or the iron distance event, you're going to be doing 12-meter draft zones, okay? So I ran it months ago about the need to change penalty enforcement, and I got some good news. You're not going to have to spend the rest of your race wondering if that official who was hanging out near you on the bike course wrote you a penalty or not. So if you're engaging in behavior that might be penalty worthy, the official has the option to allow the athlete to either fix the behavior, or they can assess a stop and go penalty or a time penalty and serve it on the course at a penalty space. And the official will tell you the specific violation. So if you're out there on the bike course and you violate the drafting bike position rules on drafting, I come up alongside of you and I'll say, athlete number 1, 2, 3. You violated the draft. You didn't come out of the draft zone and back out of the draft zone. You have a yellow card. Stop at the next penalty tent, and you'll go to the penalty tent. You'll tell them I got a yellow card, and here's what I got to do. Okay. Transgressions on the run, such as pacing. Having somebody who's not an athlete pacing an athlete, or perhaps forgetting to wear your run number on the run course. It'll be served on the course, either worn in the men. It's like where I'll tell the athlete, it's like, hey, you can't have this person pacing you on the course, so they got to get off the course and you continue on. Or I can say, okay, well, you don't have your run number. Stop, hold the card up there, and you stand there for 5, 10, 15 seconds, depending upon the violation. What does this do? This improves the speed at which timing gets taken care of and results get put up. Because in the past, we would have to send a penalty report to the timer, and they would say, oh, okay, I have to add 2 minutes here, and I have to add 1 minute here, and I have to add 2 minutes here. And so that's going to make everybody a whole lot happier. And you're not going to be, you as the athlete aren't going to have to worry, as I said, about, did that guy write me up a penalty? And then you're not going to have to come to me as a head referee and say, well, that was, why did I get this penalty? And then I have to explain to you the specific rule. As a head referee, okay, I'm still going to have to be available to explain that specific rule, but at least you know or don't know that you got a penalty. Because you're getting it, because it's just the way it is. Okay, so like Madonna, old guys like me, we're going to look at this facelift of the new rule set and a little bit shocked, and quite frankly, yes, I am. But I do see it as a change that was probably long overdue. Well, maybe not in Madonna's facelift. Okay, perhaps shock was more correct. So I'm going to dig in more into the rules once spring comes and my office becomes less cold. That should be soon, because we just got the first cherry blossoms happening. I just saw some outside my office the other day. So I'm going to put 2 links in the description. There's going to be a link to the new USA Triathlon Ruleset, and there's also a document that shows the 7 or 8 most commonly violated rules at USAT. Okay, so you can find those there, and I'll post them up overhead here so you know. And tell me how you feel about the new rule set.
Jamendo.com.
Ask me any questions about it if you feel the need or the desire.